Bull or bear? Speaking of bulls, look at that guy in the back there. Wow. Comes up a bear. That was a 17.99 pillar Spanish dollar here from Mitmark, Mexico. Like to spend that baby once in a while. Good evening, folks. What's up? This is Brian Kuzmar with Commercial Rare Coins and Precious Metals in beautiful Lauderdale by the Sea. A little rainy here the last couple of weeks, but it is that time of year. For you South Florida folks that have been here for a while, you know what the weather's like. This is absolutely a fisherman's wet dream. Pardon the expression, but absolutely true. It's not live. I had to pause it because I didn't want to lose this shot right here, but it is kind of live a few minutes ago. All tarpon. Again, check this out. These are apex predators in their own manner. Down in the Florida Keys is where you catch a lot of them as well. And they can grow, 6 to 8 feet. Massive. Look at the size of the mouths of those things. They're almost like groupers. They can just swallow whatever they get near. But what an impressive sight. Any of you fishermen out there understand exactly what kind of fish this is. Well, you know, that is a rare sight to see. Take a look at this. What a beautiful sight. It's like seeing, I guess for you guys up north in the rivers and the creeks, it's like seeing huge rainbow trout just kind of like hanging out in one area. All right, anyway, let's get into where was I this week. I'll tell you that in a minute here. Meanwhile, the quote of the day. The desire of gold is not for gold, it is for the means of freedom and benefit. And that's a very, Ralph Waldo Emerson. Now, I have not confirmed that he actually said this, like the quote. And if he didn't say it, forgive me, folks. Anyone that wants to do a little fact checking, let me know. But really, really deep quote if you think about it. It's not, again, it's not for the desire of gold is not for gold, okay? It's not really for gold, but it's the benefits that are involved with gold. And gold is money, okay? And gold is money that is free from the failures of the fiat systems. Gold, the current money system. Gold is freedom from the failure of politics. Gold is the freedom from the failure of the economics, which really the economy, which you and I have very little control over. But we do have control over is where we put our money. And if you don't put your money in places that are of great risk or potential of you just waking up one morning and someone saying, "Oh, I'm sorry, it's all gone." Well, anyways, I don't mean to laugh about that, but that's true. You know, how many people in your lifetime have you met at least once or twice that said they've lost everything in certain, whether it was the Enron scandal, remember that, scandals before that, the Lincoln Bank scandal, that goes back a long ways. It shows my age a little bit. Some of you guys are older than I can remember scandals earlier than that. But however, anyone that's owned precious metals, gold, silver, and platinum has never woken up to find out they've gone bankrupt or they have nothing. Well, anyway, let's move into what the spot prices are right now. They are closed currently. Markets, let's see, when they open in a few minutes. Things are sideways right now. We're in that sub $2,000 market. I think gold actually relative to silver. Silver's a great bargain. I believe at some point, silver, what is the ratio, 80 to 1 or something like that? Here, we'll check it out ourselves here. 1 second, let's do this. Take my watch off as I'm talking here, so pardon all the noise. Boy, that thing's on tight. That's what happens when you get old and skinny. Sorry, 1 second. All right, 1 second. 1,957.52 divided by 24.095 equals...
The answer is approximately 81.2417.
Oh, she's a little loud tonight. 81, so kind of what I thought, 81 to 1 is what the current gold and silver ratio is right now. Is gold too cheap? Is silver too expensive? None of the above. All the metals are really dirt cheap. I think silver is kind of steadying up, not steadying up, but I think Ted Butler has been talked about. Ted Butler has been talking about how the big commercial shorts haven't added to their positions. We've talked about this in the last couple of videos. I think Ted Butler's spot on about this. I mean, of course he is. The man knows more about this particular industry or commodity than anyone else out there, I dare to say, and the ins and outs and how this market is manipulated. And probably the least appreciated, and forgive me for using the term, but for you silver stackers out there, for you folks that buy and sell silver, for all you Wall Street silver apes out there, and for the people that have been buying and selling, again, anybody who's putting silver away, Ted Butler has done more for the silver investors, the real physical silver investors like yourself, especially the small guys, than anyone else out there. He's the one that's been calling the BS in the COMEX, CRIMEX markets, and I've been writing letters professionally, not calling him up screen like I do, you jerks, but he's been doing it professionally, and he's actually, I believe he's gotten somewhere. I believe that Mr. Butler is been one of the people that saviors of the silver market to some degree. You know, at some point it was going to blow up anyway, just going to blow up in their faces, the crooks' faces anyway, because they were just manipulating this market so badly that the physical supply had to get out of whack, and it is, and it was. But no one has been reminding the CFTC, BlackRock, the CME Group of this behavior, this illegal, illicit, not illicit, this is illicit, but illegal manipulative behavior by the big commercial shorts. Nobody has been doing that except for Ted Butler. You know, the price of gold and silver and platinum, I'm sure, and other commodities, but I won't go into that because I don't know that, you know, enough about those other commodities, has been manipulated so long in the CME Group's crooked marketplace that really, again, nobody has been pointing it out longer than Ted Butler, and he's proven to be absolutely correct about it. So I think a lot of credit needs to go to this man that probably never will, but I really sincerely believe that one of the reasons that we're seeing silver prices not get slammed as much and these big commercial shorts not adding as much to their positions. And I mean, when I say that the commercial shorts are not adding to the positions, their short positions like they were in the past, it's substantially less, folks. I mean, it's down to a fraction of what it once was over the last 4 decades, all right? And again, I think you can thank Ted Butler for consistently pointing this out to the CME Group, consistently emailing them, getting other people to email them, getting other people to recognize what he's talking about is correct, to the point where they couldn't no longer bullshit the public about this. If something were to happen, if there was some kind of big short position or some kind of failure in the COMEX market group in silver, maybe even gold and platinum, but right now let's talk about silver. Ted Butler could be the number one guy up there that says, listen, this is no surprise. I've been telling about this for years, okay? And they can't risk that. And I believe they are actually, like Ted Butler's been talking about for a little while. I keep saying Ted Butler, my new man, not my new man, my old man crush, as some of you guys say out there. But I respect this man to the nth degree because, again, he has been the guy out there pointing out how this crooked behavior happens in the silver COMEX markets, who's doing it, and how they're doing it. I think that the mere fact that he's done this for decades, and more people have noticed this more, you know, of the last couple years, like maybe the last 3 or 4 years, that there is some significant changes happening with the CFTC, perhaps in the background. You know, remember, the CFTC and the CME Group can never admit that these guys manipulated these markets because that would open them up to huge litigation. It's the last thing they would need. I'm not sure what kind of litigation the CFTC could be involved with, you know, being a government agency. I'm not sure you can sue them, but, you know, they would look like really complete morons that they really were for the last 4 decades. But again, it looks like things may be cleaning up in the silver markets. We may see the gold to silver ratios tighten up, you know, quite a bit. Meanwhile, what markets are being shorted more than silver right now? The gold markets. And folks, I've been saying it for a long time, where gold goes, silver will follow, okay? That's just a fact. You know, if gold goes, I mean, the only way that wouldn't be the case is if the physical silver supplies out there was in such tight supplies, and people that use it for manufacturing and industrial uses, you know, couldn't get any. That would actually, you know, cause silver markets to rise dramatically, even if gold markets were going down. I mean, that's real supply and demand dynamics right there. So that would be the cause of that. But right now, we're not really seeing that. The markets are still completely directed by big commercial short and long positions. However, you know, we haven't seen silver getting hammered as much as it has been in the past. And as soon as I say that, they'll hammer it this week to 22.20. Remember, folks, these markets are rigged, but all markets are rigged out there. And what kind of, if you're going to buy into a market that's rigged, what do you want to buy into? A market that's rigged to the high side or a market that's rigged to a low side? I think we would all agree I'd rather be buy into a market that's rigged into the low side, especially in a valuable commodity like silver, gold, platinum, oil, whatever, you know what I mean? Though, again, that's a whole different market. Platinum, sub $1,000. If there's any market that's probably more screwed with, monkey hammered, effed with than silver, it's platinum. Because I can tell you, I can't explain poor platinum's unloved. I mean, very few people buy it out there as well. Maybe it's just really not an investment metal. I mean, maybe on a very small scale. Maybe it really is truly a industrial metal like palladium is. Maybe I'm just placed too much investment or thought into it as being a good investment metal. So platinum may just be tied to economic conditions and what it's used for in industry, not so much. And that's probably the truth. Like palladium, I think those are two industrial type metals. But man, platinum just sure seems cheap to me, compared to the prices. I remember when platinum was always over the price of gold for a long time. But again, it might have a lot to do with the catalytic converters, industrial use, and all that stuff. But still, platinum seems, how much cheaper has it gotten over the last couple of years? I think we've seen a low of 775, 800, or something like that. Check my math there, or check my graph, my graphs. Check my numbers there. But, 800s, maybe the high sevens at some point. So, we're not too far off from that low right now. I still like platinum. I think that there's a lot of industrial uses out there. It's a great metal, and it's a precious metal. But again, more and more I think about platinum, we just don't see the retail buyers on it. I think if we saw a larger push and more retail buyers in platinum, you'd probably see the prices explode more to the upside. But we don't. And all right, silver, great buy at this price. Gold, a great buy at this price. And I can just blab on here forever about this stuff. You know how I am. Why do you want to own gold, silver, and platinum? What's the best reason for owning, especially gold and silver? I'm going to exclude platinum right now. I'm just disappointed. Consumer price index for all urban consumers, purchasing power of the consumer dollar in the U.S. city average. This is why, because you don't want to have your money in U.S. dollars, and you don't want to have your money tied up in things that are directly tied to the U.S. dollar, because this is what's happened to your dollar, folks. It gets killed more and more and more. And under the current administration, the last administration wasn't that great either. Economically speaking, I agree that the man was the T-man, the red man from the last presidency. I agree that in my opinion, he was sand in the Vaseline of the Washington machine. And I love that. I actually love that. I love to see him just kind of, because if there's any machine that needed to be upset and grinded to a halt, it's Washington, D.C., and the bureaucracy and the agencies up there. And he did a damn great job of doing that, that's for sure. As far as being a great diplomatic president and someone that's up on economics and all that other stuff, not so much, folks. He's the guy you want to throw in there just to stop these bastards. So, anyways, I digress, man. Where did I go with that? The reason you want to own gold, silver, and platinum is because of this right here. Why this line goes down, you'll see that the gold price and silver platinum does completely the opposite and goes up. I think I can show you that. Where is that chart? Gold versus real yields. No, we're in macro trends. They have some good charts on that. Let me take a look here. Precious metals. Let's see if we have the gold prices U.S. dollar correlation. Interesting chart here too as well, because one of the things that I noticed when I just recently looked at this is that the dollar index right here, as you can tell, has gone up, and that would indicate to some people. Some people would say, wow, well, take a look at the dollar compared to gold. There's the gold graph right there. All right, now they kind of an inverse relationship. When the dollar takes a tank, gold does very, very well, and when the dollar does well, gold kind of backs off a little bit. But the overall trend for gold is upward, okay? But I tell you where this chart really is misleading. This is the dollar index, all right? The dollar index is not this. The dollar index is not the, give me 1 second here. Where are we going? Where is it? Oh my gosh. All right. I can't find it now. macro trends, the Fred CPI here. Let me open up another one. I know it's here somewhere, but the dollar index is not this. The dollar index is not an indication of your dollar buying more. The dollar index, which this chart right here is based on other currencies. It's a basket of currencies. The dollar's compared to other currencies, all right? Now, this line going up with the price of gold going up doesn't mean that your dollar buys more. In fact, we know that's not true because we just looked at the chart that tells us that the dollar buys less and less. This dollar index chart, again, the big lie, is based on other currencies, other fiat dollars, all right? The only reason the dollar index and this chart, and people that like to use this chart, well, the dollar is strong and gold is kind of an inverse relationship, but as you can see, the dollar is stronger. The dollar is not stronger. The dollar does not buy more. This index is simply based, again, on other currencies, the other turds, the other losers in the pack, all right? It's like being the last horse to the glue factory, if you understand what I'm saying there. So this chart can be very misleading. Gold prices versus US dollar correlation, the 10-year chart, because again, that chart doesn't represent whether the dollar buys more, it represents how it's doing against the other turds in the race, all right? Meanwhile, what's going on out there? It looks like Dow Jones, S&P, and the NASDAQ, all the paper markets, all the derivative markets, all the casinos are in the full green. Meanwhile, the real products out there, the real winning dogs and horses and cans out there, crude oil, gold, all right, well, maybe not so much. Commodities other than Bitcoin. I'm sorry, folks. You know how I feel about that. If you don't, watch my past videos. Gold, crude oil, and other hard, good commodities not doing so well. But what does that mean? I don't know. All these markets are rigged. Here's a chart we haven't visited in a little while as well. I wanted to talk about real quickly, which is the misery index. Remember, I used to bring up the misery index all the time when I discovered it. Well, I guess when you discover things, they're always cool, like sushi and everything. Then you eat enough of it. But meanwhile, let's take a look at the updated 2022 for Biden. I haven't looked at it in a long time. It looks like this represents, the red part represents. If you don't know what the misery index is, it's been around for quite some time, and you can look at it for free. Just go to the United States Misery Index. They allow you to look at this information. There's all kinds of different ways to look at it. And again, it interprets the data by using inflation, which is the red, and unemployment, which is the blue. Excuse me, my throat got dry there. You know why, I talk too much. And Mr. Biden is actually not doing that terribly, so to speak, but what I can't understand is why they haven't updated the 2023 results for Mr. Biden. Well, I know why, because we're not there yet. We got 2024 coming up here. But no less, Mr. Biden is actually at 11.65, high inflation rate, lower employment, but we know that they're fudging the employment numbers, and we know that they're fudging the inflation numbers because they should be much higher than this. But I'm sure they've done this for all presidents in the past. But misery index, much higher than it was for Trump, and getting up to Obama levels there during 2011. And where we at? Take a look at that line too. That represents unemployment and inflation, basically zero. But that's 2008 during the collapse. I'm sure that speaks volumes and something. We're not going to jump down that rabbit hole. But meanwhile, where are we possibly headed? I'm just amazed that we haven't hit this level right now. The Carter period, and I suspect we will. And the reason I don't think we've hit the Carter period, because I think that they lie so badly about, listen folks, we're lied to about everything, or the media lies to us consistently. I mean, CNN, Fox, all these corporate media stations are major freaking liars. The government lies to us, the agencies lie to us, all this stuff. So I think the lies have just gotten bigger. That's why these lines have gotten smaller. I believe that we're probably at this level right here in reality where we are with Carter right now. But again, the data. All right, well, if that was true, maybe Trump would have much higher data because they hated that bastard. Nothing wrong with Trump, by the way. That's just the way they feel about it. I don't. Gosh, I'm just going to the wrong end here. Crook and loudmouth. That's my opinion. But sometimes you need a loudmouth out there, and you never need a crook. I can tell you that for sure. Well, folks, let me get into some news here, and I'm not even going to go there because it's just a shit show. All right, I said it a couple minutes into the video. They're not going to nail me for saying the S word. But Joe Rogan, as dumb as that mother effer is, I'm sorry, I shouldn't say that, but he's not dumb. He's dumb as a fox, actually. He just knows how to listen right and ask the right questions and not get himself in trouble, which I can't do. But anyways, yeah, he's starting to, actually. But I think he's starting to open up a little bit. Remember that Joe Rogan didn't vote for the T-Man. He actually probably voted for Biden, I think. Maybe not, I could be wrong, but so, I mean, even the guys like this that talk this kind of nonsense. What am I talking about? I'm getting into politics and personalities here. I like this man. I really do. I think he speaks the truth. I think sometimes that, he has to throw some showmanship in there and some bravado or whatever the heck he does, and to feed the circus atmosphere that is the news cycle. I believe he does that, but I think for the most part he's been pretty much straight on right, man. I think he was even right about the election machines, and the courts just didn't rule that favorably for that particular network, even though I don't feel sorry for that network. You know what? Man, I am going off the hook tonight on a bunch of political stuff here, and I got to calm down. Let's move out of here because there's just too many rabbit holes for me to jump into, and not much to talk about in the price of gold, silver, and platinum. All bad news ties into gold, silver, and platinum. The worse the news, the more gold and silver you should buy, folks. And there's a never-ending parade of bad news out there. Meanwhile, what's going out there? Indian gold reserves up more than 40% in 5 years. That's significant. No major corporate news stations are talking about that. The idiots at Wall Street Journal, the CIA, anyway. Yeah, remember when the Wall Street Journal got caught for running articles for the CIA? That's why I said that. But, just freaking government talking heads or some agencies talking heads, Bloomberg, CIA, whether it's the Fed, whether it's the FBI, whoever it is, they're just talking heads out there. None of them, the talking heads, are talking about why India's gold reserves are up more than 40% in 5 years. Their U.S. currency reserves aren't up. You can read this yourself. They're buying gold, folks. And don't forget that this is a huge population of folks out there that have a huge workforce, endless supply of workers, and the ability to really move markets. And what are they putting their money in? They're putting their money in gold. They're not putting it in dollars. But they always have. The Indians have always put their money in gold. But 40%, the gold reserves of India is up 40% in 5 years. I suspect the same thing with private investors in India, which are really, the ladies that walk around and with their gold bracelet. Well, anyway, 17.9 million troy ounces. All right, that's all good stuff for the price of gold and silver, and gold still really. I think gold's a little too cheap right now. All right, where was I this last week, folks? I was in Baltimore at the Whitman Baltimore Coin Show. You can type that in right there. Great coin show, about 2 or 3 times a year. Gets a lot of collectors, not a lot of bullion in there. There are bullion products. You can get some good deals in bullion, but mostly rare coins. And don't forget, I am a rare coin dealer at heart. Always, that's what I started in the business as a rare coin dealer, but it happened to be when the bullion business was great and coin dealers were good bullion dealers at the time. That's how I learned the bullion business as well. And man, I'm really rattling on tonight. That's where I was last week. What's going on in coins? A lot of you guys asked me what the best, what kind of, not the best deals, but what's cool in the coin industry. I got to tell you something really interesting. Any of you coin collectors out there are familiar with PCGS and NGC coins. Well, there seems to be a market for early PCGS and NGC holders where they're paying huge premiums for the plastic holders. Now, you silver and gold people that don't do coins, or you may want to fast forward through this little page right here that I have here, but I'm talking to the coin folks out there. There are huge premiums right now for early PCGS and NGC holders. The coins that surpass the value of the coins by, you could have a coin worth $10. The plastic holder that is put into the PCGS or NGC holder now could potentially be worth $100, $200, $300. For some reason, there is a market now for the certification holders that hold coins. I find that just crazy. But meanwhile, some of you guys are asking me what's hot in the coin market out there that you won't hear from any other people, and that's a hot market. What else is hot? I'm just amazed at how good the coin market is, rare coin market. Any fresh material that comes up gets sucked up instantly. But I'm not surprised, because besides gold, silver, and platinum bars and coins, when money starts getting cheap and the value, inflation starts going up, people look for places to put their money. Real estate, sure bets, not things that they can lose overnight. Stock markets are not things that can just kind of disappear. They start putting their money in hard assets like rare coins and art and stuff like that, certain types of art and rare coins. And that's what we're seeing with the rare coin market. So many prices across the board of different types of coins in the U.S. market and in the foreign markets have gone up substantially. Coin dealers are constantly looking for fresh material. The market is hot, hot, hot. The rare coin market, the rare paper money market, is just hot, folks. Foreign and U.S. stuff. It just amazes me. Meanwhile, the art market itself, the art market, the antique market, even in the jewelry market is substantially quieter. The prices are down across the board on a lot of that stuff, which amazes me even more that the rare coin market is doing so well. I think a lot of that has to do with we've got a new, younger generation that we're seeing at the coin shows. You can't see it here, but I was just absolutely amazed at how many 20 and 30-year-olds, mostly males, and some females, were at coin shows, and their enthusiasm for rare coins is off the hook. Something you don't see in the antique market, something you don't see in the art market, and stamps, obviously, and other things. But just incredible, folks. The enthusiasm of the young folks coming to the coin market is crazy. I think it's still a good place to put your money if you understand that market. But again, if you're not going to collect coins, never invest in them, folks. Trust me on that. Stick with your gold, silver, and platinum. Okay, man. This video is longer. I was worried I wasn't even going to get a video tonight, man. I've just been busy as hell all day, and not a lot to talk about. But you know me. Once you get me rolling, here we are. Let me answer some comments from last week's video before I went to the show. And again, that's the reason I only cranked out one video last week. Last silver beatdown. This is referring to what Ted Butler has been talking about, is the reduction of the short positions in the COMEX commercial shorts that we've seen over the decades, a substantial reduction. Could this be the last beatdown? I don't know. Never underestimate these crooks, but we sure seem to be hanging on to this $24 level right now. And again, even if they beat it down, whether it's 24, 22, 26, 30, I still think it's super cheap, folks. Just, keep buying. Just try to keep your premiums down to a minimum. Don't pay too much of a premium for physical products. And again, I can't stress, having the product itself rather than having someone else hold it for you is a huge advantage. All right, let me get into some questions here for some of you folks that ask questions. And, give me 1 second. I want to go. I'm just curious about the. There we go. Let's see. Oh, all right. I guess. Oh, look, there's a whole bunch of grunts staring us down now. Good thing I caught that tarpon video there. Boy, you see my attention span is quite short. Okay, give me 1 second. Let me move into questions from this week. I was just curious to see if the tarpon, you can tell what a fisherman I am. All right, I haven't been out in a while too, I'm jonesing. All right, 5 days ago. If the dollar index goes up, then silver will keep dropping. You sell silver, you're just as bad as a car salesman. F you, dick facer. Sorry, I normally wouldn't say that. Let's see if did I reply to him? I don't think I replied. Someone must have replied. Anyways, I didn't mean to say that, folks, but sometimes again, he even has it in his name. He is definitely a dick facer. Silver and Gold T says, you've been wrong since I've been watching your channel for 2 years. Another dick facer. Maybe I shouldn't say that, but if you've been watching my channel, here, I even replied here, if you've been watching my channel, you obviously haven't. because that's not what I've been saying. I haven't been saying anything wrong. I've been telling you consistently, never underestimate these bastards out there, what they can do in the COMEX, CRIMEX, derivatives markets out there. At some point, it's going to end on them. Silver prices are going to shoot up like they always have in the past, but no less. Anyways, not going to go there. You haven't watched my channel for 2 years. If you have, you wouldn't have made that comment. Slow down, can't, boy, I got a lot of critics on this one. Daniel Bolster, slow down, can't understand what you're saying. I think there's a little button up there, that a little thing on YouTube that allows you to slow down the volume. Maybe you can slow down me to about the half speed, then you can figure it out, Daniel. Oh, I'm being a little rough. Sorry, Daniel. Thanks for watching anyway. Alex W. says, be well. You too, Alex. Wildcat says, negative, smashed like clockwork. Yeah, like I said, I don't know if it's smashed like clockwork. 24.50, 24.60 down to 23.98, 23.80 back to 24. I think we're in a stable range right now, Wildcat. Let's see what happens. Again, never underestimate these crooks. Tim Gibson says, why are you wasting time talking about Silver Eagles? I know, but people still buy them, Tim. They just, when I see people paying $20 premium, 100% premium almost on Silver Eagles, I'm like, who gives them this advice? Why would you do that, other than maybe to own one or to fill your set? No smart silver investor would ever buy silver, any kind of silver, at a premium that's above $5 and $6 at current silver prices right now. I mean, that's just ludicrous, all right? Silver Eagles, it's, melt plus 15 or 20 bucks. That's just crazy, and you're absolutely right. And Bill Holter, or Lynette Zhang, I think they push those products. I don't know. I've got to go look. I know in the past they were pushing those products, but at these premiums, I certainly hope they are not. Michael Matthews, what's up? Sip here to you. What do I got tonight here? I've got the, Cabernet, actually. All right, Trend Zone. Just wait. We'll see what happens. Lots of weed in Chuck's area. Buy high, sell low. Rather buy scratch tickets and win something. Well, you keep that up, buying those scratch tickets. I'm sure it'll get you somewhere at some point. Donald Desno says, Bernard Barak, note in the store, buy low, sell high. Oh, is that who made that quote? I don't know. Hager the Hodler, thumbs up to you. Miro Mike Simic says, that better be milk you're drinking, not Bud Light. Gosh. Oh, gosh, I haven't read these comments. I didn't pre-read them, I'm sorry, but it didn't matter. You know me, I answer them all anyway. Don't want to hear about either as long as the two consenting adults agree 100%. Christina, hope to see you up Lakeland. Show if I'm thinking, that's proper Christina. J.M. Sparger says, Hetty Green said buy low, sell high, maybe. And Beto D says, just going to keep cash saving for a 1 ounce gold. Keep stacking there, Beto D. Nice to hear from you. John Willman says metals will go down in the second week of July. So get over to a store and get some metal, because after that, prices will be going up. John, give me another comment there. Let me know why you think metals are going to go down in the second week of July. Interesting comment. Thank you. And thank you for watching. Hill and Kessler says 347 to 1 paper to silver price. Yeah, I've heard even higher figures, 1,000 to 1, all that stuff too as well. But I'm sure it's quite high. Darren, the secular spiritualist, says Ted has been on it for 40 years. That is persistence. Kudos. Sometimes it takes persistence. Silver moonshot coming. Got to agree with you 100%, Darren. Silver liner, buy low, sell high, even the caveman can do it. I think that's a Geico commercial. Got to agree with that. Don't care too much about the price. Got to hold my stack. Yes, Jeff Keller. Twitch Radio says now, that's what I call a flat bull. Oh, you heard my coin. That was a flat bull last week. And if I need fractional silver, I'm not buying jump. I can buy the little bars, whatever you call them, even the 1/10 rounds or half-ounce round until it's, stick with 1 ounces right now as long as you can. Try not to pay a high premium, folks out there. Don't pay more than $5 and $6 an ounce premium on the high side. If I think that, there's not enough silver out there and that you should pay more than that, I'll let you know. But meanwhile, don't pay too much on the premiums, folks. And I am right with silver. I think you're right as well, Christina. No trading and no day trading in precious metals. True statement. Yes, it is, sir. You can't be a day trader in precious metals. I really believe that, especially in physical. Hey folks, I'm going to call it quits right now. If you don't catch me on YouTube for some reason, it's probably because I said something stupid. You can catch me on this channel right here under my company name, which is, well, here, well, account overview. Anyway, you know what it is. And Collectorama coming up here June 22nd to 24th in the middle of the state of Florida. If you live in Florida, make sure you hit the Collectorama show. You're going to see some gold, silver, and platinum products there for all you stackers, and also rare coins and jewelry, artwork, collectibles, all kinds of cool stuff. Again, that's at the Lakeland RP Civic Center here, June 22nd to 24th, coming up here very soon. And that's it, folks. If you're looking to buy gold, silver, and platinum and you live in South Florida, we're the place to come to. We'll beat Atmex, SDJ, and Bullion, and we'll beat the locals down here on their reasonably priced silver, gold, and platinum products. Meanwhile, man, I'm tired. Been a long week. Been working all weekend, working today, and hope to get a video out tomorrow. Thanks for watching. Have a great evening, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye. Wow, what a day.